What's up, boys? Today we're going to be checking out the Shapeshifter Formations 1.0 release. I believe there is a 2-player Steam remote play option if you have a friend who you want to do that with. Over here, I just unlocked this cool status effect based ship where when you kill an enemy, you can spread burns to other nearby enemies, so that sounds pretty cool. Every ship has an active and a passive. Our active is a thermal beam, which you can charge to deal big damage and leaving a burn effect, it sounds like. Haven't tried this yet, but then you can choose the starting weapon for every ship as well. And we're going to try out the corrosive bolter since that has some of the corrosion status effect, and that's the only status weapon I have unlocked currently. So we're going to try and build into those since they seem like the most unique thing. And then I think we can take a look at some of these to see exactly what they do. So it sounds like burn is just a damage over time, but it can keep stacking up. Shock will apply stacks and then eventually do some sort of overload effect. Frost, I think, will slow them. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, so burn is damage over time. Shock will apply an overload, which I think is an explosion of damage. And then frost will slow them down and eventually freeze them. I can't see what freeze does, but I'm assuming it probably just stuns them for the duration or something. And then corrosion is a damage amplify, it looks like. So all pretty familiar if you've played basically any game with status effects. Here's our little corrosive bolter. And then I'm going to try the active effect, although I don't need it, but that's really cool actually. Okay, I probably didn't charge that. I think I probably have to hold down the button for that, but pretty cool. And then there's also dash in the game. Pretty small arena, but that would honestly make it easier with the remote play, I suppose. Looks like our missiles actually hum around quite a bit and we'll just spiral around them until they eventually hit. The shards we're picking up are both XP, and then you can also buy upgrades with them after each boss, I believe. Ooh, projectile bounces +1. Haven't seen that before, but that sounds pretty solid for our bolter. The game has an entire skill tree which you earn levels towards as you complete runs. I've gotten 3 or 4 points, I think, which allowed me to get a little bit of starting region. And then there's apparently an entire artifact and paragon trees, which I haven't unlocked anything for yet. I just did one quick run to learn a little bit of the game. 10% chance to spawn a construct that fires corrosion bolts. Buffs up our corrosion stats a little bit, sounds cool. The bosses have some pretty crazy bullet hell mechanics you're going to have to learn a bit. I died pretty quickly to the third boss, I think. Just getting completely overwhelmed by his bullets. Alright, let's see if we can do a full charge laser. Okay, so it seems like you do hold it down, but you can keep moving during that. On damage, deal damage to nearby enemies, so it seems like you can do some sort of Thorns build. I don't think that will really fit our current build. We definitely don't want a status strength penalty, so if I had banishes I would ban that, but I need a few more talent points for that. On ability causes a random elemental explosion, so we don't have any abilities yet, but I think I'm going to grab this for later on to add in some random effects. And then there's our fully charged laser, looks like pretty cool. I can't see an indicator for... Oh, it's that thing, okay. Is there an indicator for the dodge cooldown? It must be that yellow bar? Yeah, okay. It would be cool if there was a setting to add those indicators like somewhere close to the icon of your character, so it's a bit easier to see while you're like fighting, but I don't think there was an option for that. What is on character HUD? That's not what I'm looking at. I don't know. I'll mess around with some settings later on and just do the runs for now. On hit, chance to restore health. Sounds nice. I'm not sure if dodge is like a chance to avoid damage or if that's if you use your spacebar dash thing. Let's take a look at this stats screen and see if there's anything specific for that. Is there a defense tab? Looks like armor's up here. So dodge must be using the spacebar thing. And then those little green circles are on-kill constructs that shoot out the corrosion bolts, I believe. These are just little mini elites. They typically don't seem that bad. There'll be kind of an animation where all the walls go crazy and all when we get an actual boss fights. But there's usually a few of these guys in between each one, and they don't really seem to be that big of a deal. There's some ranged ones that are a bit annoying. On ability, fire random dark or light orbs. Explosion around the player every 5 seconds, damage and shock. On dodge, movement speed, construct speed and strength. I guess that would improve our corrosion guys. What exactly do dark and light orbs do? Dark orbs deal damage, light orbs heal health. I haven't really seen a whole lot to spawn those. I think I've seen something for the dark orbs, but not light orbs. Let's take this so we get some extra shocking effects going on, I think. Oh yeah, and I think that's an ability, right? I'm not actually sure. Oh, ability is your right click, actually. This thing, the laser. Okay, so on ability is actually very slow then, since that's a pretty long cooldown. On crit, chance to apply damage and corrosion. On fire, chance to burn. 30% ability cooldown, wow. I think we're gonna take one of these status effect based things though. This sounds a lot more consistent on fire. I don't think we have much crit chance yet. Oh yeah, we also have that spreading burn effect on enemies we kill. So I think fire is definitely the go-to if we can get something for it. Fire rate, extra shot chance. We would lose some weapon damage. Dark light orbs now explodes. We don't have anything for those, and since I haven't seen any light orb upgrades, I'm skeptical we'll really be able to build into that, so I think we're just going to take the extra hits to apply status effects more often here. Just get a big laser ready for him. Pull him through the burning fields. On kill, chance to deal overkill damage, capped at their health. So we're going for kind of a fast-hitting status-based build. I don't think that's going to do a ton here. That seems fine. Overload and shock. If we can get some more triggers for shock. Adds a targeting beam, accuracy, and pierce. Sounds okay. I think we'll go for that since it's status based at least. We don't have a ton of shocking yet though. We almost have our laser up for this little mini elite. And if any enemies are on top of him, then he'll also spread that wildfire to them as they die with our ship passive. On heal, chance to heal more, spread a random status. Ooh, I just unlocked that actually, and that sounds really cool. Kill, chance to spawn a construct, 3 shots. So we have this, and it looks like it only increases the damage, which actually isn't that interesting. On dodge, destroy enemy projectiles. That actually sounds pretty good. That would have helped when I died to that one bullet hell boss, but we definitely want this for the status-based build. 15% strength to all the statuses on top of that seems really good. I guess one interesting thing you could do with that passive, okay, here's the boss, is that if you had only one type of status effect that you were super heavily focusing, then you could just turbo stack that one and it would always spread that one. Oops. He only started shooting those bullets on the slam attack after I had been fighting him a while on the last run, I think. But it looks like he's just starting with it here. Alright, so let's see if we can get a big laser charged up. Oh, I can't even run out of that. Uh-oh. We're gonna have to dodge that every time, I guess. Uh-oh, my build is worse than my first run, no! Yeah, on my first run I had more movement speed and I was able to just run out of his slam attack, but I don't seem to be able to do that. Uh-oh. On heal, fire, and ice spike for frost damage. Hit, chance to strike the enemy with lightning, applying shock. On hit, damage to targets above 80%. Let's grab the lightning strike, I think. I do want both of those, but I don't really have that much healing currently. And this will probably give me a bit more single target damage. I guess I ran into the circle. So it looks like we need to get a bit more movement speed for this guy because I need to be able to run out of his Nova attack and then save my dash for something else that I can't avoid. So kind of messed that up, I think. Did I get any new skills here? I got 1 point at least. So we can actually banish some stuff now and that'll help out a bit. I guess we'll try the same build and just look for a bit more movement speed this time. Also, the damage of this weapon seems kind of low, so it might actually be better to grab a different one. I was killing his ads a lot slower on this run. On kill, okay, we got the status spreading. Damage, deal damage nearby. We can get a bit of healing on ability critical chance. Every 5 seconds. I guess that's fine. Oh, I forgot I have the banishes now. Spawns a construct that fires a projectile, deals 15 damage. Nothing super interesting about that. On hit, chance to strike the enemy with lightning. That sounds cool. Damage to targets above 80% health. We can probably banish that. How do I do that? Hold T. Construct that follows you and restores health every 8 seconds. Yeah, I think we'll try out the lightning on hits. Yeah, I think this build might actually be better if we just got a very fast attacking weapon that doesn't have any status effects, and then we just add them in through the upgrades and use the much higher attack speed to benefit from that. Status duration and strength, that seems cool. Damage at max health, that's going to be kind of hard since I suck at the game right now. Targeting beam, on damaged, fire 3 ice spikes. I might grab one of those at some point, but I shouldn't really be getting a ton of on damage stuff, so we'll just take this for now. On hit, chance to restore health, sounds pretty good. Fire projectile from the enemy, dealing 25% of the damage dealt. So that might actually work with my acid thing to apply more corrosion, but I think we're getting the extra epic healing here. And then we'll try and charge up a laser for this guy. Ability duration and cooldown. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. The fire trail would last longer. I do need some ability, but that sounds cool. Or movement speed, I mean, is what I need. See if we can group them up a bit so that the status effects will spread between. On heal, fire, and ice spike, kill, chances spread. So that increases the chance and also gives some nice status strength. I think we definitely do want multiple copies of that. Then our ability is almost up and we can laser these guys. Any of the trash mobs nearby will spread the big burn effect to them for even more damage. Explosion around the player, dealing shock. On ability, causes a random elemental. Ooh, fire rate and status strength together, that sounds cool. On kill, chance to fire a missile that deals damage and applies burn. Okay, we probably need to take that, although I want that as well. Then we'll get another big laser here. Oops. Maybe just a small laser. On fire, chance to cause a nearby enemy to burn. On dodge, destroys projectiles. Yup, more burn. Alright, let's see if we can maybe get both of these guys. Oops, that starts ticking on you instantly if you're in the path of it. Ability damage critical chance. Construct that heals you every 8 seconds. I guess that's fine since we do have some ability-based stuff, and then crit chance, there's a couple things that trigger on that. Alright, here's the boss again. Alright, so I don't have any movement speed. We're gonna have to dash out of that every time I can just to buy some extra time. That's a lot of ads, man. This weapon is not very good at killing them. On fire, chance to cause extra enemies to burn. On kill, fire a missile. So it increases the damage and the burning effects. Corrosion, strength, and duration, max corrosion. I guess we'll try out the purple here since that's on our basic weapon anyways. This is so much harder than my first run. I think this weapon is just not very good. And I don't have any extra movement speed. So now we can spend some of our our shards for the extra stuff in the shop. On hit, chance to fire a dark orb. Okay, so that's how you get that. But I think we're gonna keep stacking the contagion. That seems really good here. So 225 ability damage duration cooldown. We lose some weapon damage and critical hit damage, which honestly probably isn't that bad. Damage accuracy on status. Chance to apply the status again at 40% strength. Ooh, that's really cool. So we need 131 for that, 87 for on fire, extra burning stuff. Or we could get the blue and the purple. They both sound pretty cool. Probably can't get both of those, right? 87 and 228, yeah. We're a little bit off of that. Screw it, the laser has pretty cool burning stuff. So we can continue or end the run if you want and get your rewards. I'm gonna have to change my build though. I don't think this corrosion weapon is working all that well for me though. Ability duration cooldown. On crit, chance to apply damage and corrosion. Yeah, we should probably grab that. I don't know why that first guy knocked me around there. On hit, chance to restore health. Yeah, we should probably grab the purple. Just having a much faster weapon would make all of the on-hit stuff so much stronger. I feel like that the base corrosion probably isn't even worth it. On hit, chance to fire a light orb. Oh, I can get them now. On status, we've got to get that for the extra stacking though. Status strength armor strikes 2 enemies every 4 seconds, damage and shock. Plus 50% damage in an area, overload strength. On kill spread random status. Ooh, I want both of these. I guess we should probably add in that for some extra, like, consistent damage and shock stacking. Yeah, I just feel so weak compared to my first run at this point in the game. We're gonna probably try the same build with a different weapon and just use very fast attack speed to stack stuff, I think, at some points. I don't even think I'm gonna be able to get the second boss here. I can barely even touch these guys, man. Doesn't seem like there's iframes on the very start of the dash. Ability, fire random dark or light orbs. Explosion around the player. Oh, I do have some rerolls. We could also take a bit of movement there. Ability cooldown, lose some armor. On heal, chance to restore more health. That actually sounds kind of cool since we're kind of reliant on the laser now. And it doesn't have a downside like that one. Yeah, my damage is just so bad on this run. I can't kill anything. This weapon is so bad, man. What the heck? Just get me out of here. I am suffering with this weapon. So we got 2 points, what can I get off of that? Chance of items appearing with the same tag as your current ship. So that should improve fire, I suppose. Sounds pretty good. Small stat boost every level up in a run, based on your tags. That also sounds very good. So we're going to restart with a different weapon that isn't that terrible, I suppose. So let me look at the stats on that. 4 shots per second, so that would be 72 damage and corrosion. My first run was the machine gun, which would be about double that damage. Railgun is a lot slower, but pretty good damage. The chain gun is very fast, with also pretty good damage, so let's try that for the status-based build. And we don't have any other weapons. The fights are just taking like 5 times as long as my very first run, which just seems crazy. Even though I'm getting stronger with the skill tree and learning the game more, it just feels like I can't even fight them with that weapon for some reason. On heal, fire, and ice spike. On hits, apply burn. Yup. Oh yeah, let's banish some stuff that I don't really want. Above 80% health, that's probably fine to get rid of. On dodge, increase movement speed, that might be helpful. And now with the much higher attack speed, we'll stack up the burn a lot higher, which will then spread with our passive. On kill, overkill, that's going to be pretty weak with the fast attacks here. I guess we could probably banish that then. On ability, critical hit chance, I don't think I really care for any of these that much. We can banish that. On hit, apply shock, sounds cool. I don't think I care about that either. critical hit chance and damage accuracy, elusive movements. Kind of important for some of the bosses, although I don't think that's terrible. Probably banish that as well. Yeah, let's take the shocking effect on hits. Status duration and strength sounds cool. Fire projectile, nothing super interesting there, just a bit of pierce it looks like. Movement speed, fire rate looks pretty good. Construct strength, speed. There is some useful stuff there, but I think this is more consistent and it gives us some of the movement speed we need. On status, apply the status effect again. Sounds good. Fire rate, extra shot, dark light orbs explodes, corrosion strength, duration. That's going to be a bit weaker here since we don't really have any source of that yet. I think we'll take that to apply our current burn more, and hopefully we'll find some of that later on. Hit, chance to cause an explosion that deals 75%. It doesn't really sound that strong here, but we do have a lot of attack speed, so we should at least trigger it fairly often. I guess it depends on whether or not the explosion itself can trigger on-hit effects, in which case it actually could be pretty good since it would trigger the burning effects more. Just something I don't really know the mechanics on currently. On hits, apply frost, ability cooldown. Yeah, let's grab that. Projectile bounces. Ooh. I want both of those, but that's very good for the fast hitting on hit stuff. damage, apply frost. On hit, chance to fire a dark orb. We could take that or reroll. I kind of want to see what that looks like here. On ability, cause random elemental explosion. Bunch of ability stats, lose some weapon and crit damage. Ooh, status. I might actually take that, since it doesn't really have much of a downside, but has 2 stats that we want. And I'm not really using the ability quite as much since we're more weapon focused this time, I feel like. So those both are kind of the same thing. I guess my damage isn't the greatest at long range due to the spread on the minigun, but it still seems better than the corrosion thing at least. That's so many circles, my god. I just took a lot of damage even though I dodged all of that there. That's pretty unfortunate. And I feel like it could auto-collect these shards when the boss is over. Not really a ton of points, and making you go collect all those on heal, fire, and ice spike. 5 times the amount healed. Okay, so you could actually do a full heal-based build with those as well. That's pretty cool. Let's get a bit more healing for now on crits. On kill, spread status, we definitely want that. On kill, chance of fire a homing missile, damage, 10% chance for stack when this kills the enemy. What is the chance? When the missile itself kills an enemy, it has a chance to chain, it sounds like? Let's try the legendary, I guess, although I do really want that. There's no lockdown, right? Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Dodge, increased movement speed, overload, and shock strength. Critical hit chance, damage accuracy. That would be kind of nice for the minigun. much does it cost to reroll? 75. Kind of a decent amount of what I have right now. Probably just grab that and the overload thing. I guess some movement on dodge might be helpful. Oh, my bullets can bounce off the wall too. That's actually pretty cool. With the +1 bounce thing we got. Chance to fire a dark orb, fire out 3 corrosive splinters, dealing 15%, applying 5% corrosion. How much does that do again? 35.7. We have one of those. It doubles the chance and improves the strength. Whatever, we'll try it. Where did my laser go? What? It just disappeared and did a bunch of damage to me? What the heck? I've never seen that before. Is there like some sort of ability reflecting elite or something? On kill, chance of spread status. On hit frost, we have one of those. We definitely want a lot of those. Armor movement sounds good. How does armor work exactly? So 20% gives me 17%. It's probably like where you get 100%, it cuts the damage you take in half. So doubling your effective HP at that point. Oh, I didn't see the elite or the regular mobs he spawned there, and I just ran into them. That's unfortunate. Yeah, don't stand close to those guys, I guess. Alright, not having a ton of success with the status-based build. Let's just do a more normal thing, I guess. Select an additional item tag for items you receive. How many do I have? 2. Selecting your ship, choose to ban all upgrades matching a single tag. Decent number of overall stats, that sounds pretty good. 1% chance to be glitch, providing 2 stacks. 5 free rerolls. Lock 5 upgrades. Ooh, okay, there we go, I want that. Alright, unfortunately somehow every run I've done has been worse than the first run I did, which was this guy with a machine gun. Double crits. Haven't even unlocked any new shields, or new ships. Alright, we'll just do the most generic ship possible. Probably try the machine gun. That worked pretty well the first time. Oh, there's a different arena here. What is this ability again? Oh yeah, the Nova effects. I really don't understand why there isn't a auto-fire toggle. This doesn't turn it off, does it? Auto-aim is different, so no. Yeah, I don't know why there isn't an auto-fire. The stick when using a controller. Well, I don't have a controller. There's no reloading system, so there's no downside to having auto-fire. On fire, chance to cause burn, so that's not going to do a ton here. We can banish that. Kill, chance to fire homing missile. That would be fine. Targets above 80% health isn't super useful. Leveling up, probably not. Yeah, I guess we can try that. I guess the main thing with that is that some of the bosses don't seem to spawn any ads. The first one, thankfully, does. I don't think the second or third ones do. No, the second one does have those little boxes that fire a bunch of bullets. So it does help for most of them then. Fire status strength. Ooh, bounces. Damage reduce ability cooldown. That's not going to be super useful. On damage, turn damage. Oh, I guess the 8% armor isn't bad if that's one of the only choices, but we'll definitely take that for now. On hit, chance to strike with lightning, dealing plus 30% damage. So I guess that's fine for the extra damage. Extra shot and health is fine, we can probably banish that. Ability duration and cooldown, we are out of banishes so we can't do that. How many? Oh, it costs shards to reroll. Okay, so we probably don't want to do that a ton. I guess I'm fine with the extra damage on that. Oh, I almost ran into them again. Alright, so I gotta learn to be better about that. Fire rate, status strength, movement, ability cooldown, fire. So we gain about 17 in useful stats, lose 30 in kind of useful stats. Not the greatest. Honestly, none of these are amazing for me. I guess I'll probably take the fire rate status string. Ability cooldown, no. On damaged, probably not. Oh man, these are terrible. Let's toss a reroll. Ability, lose weapon and crit, that is absolutely not a thing here. These are not great. I'm gonna take that and save the shards, I guess. Please, I'm just trying to do the most basic weapon damage run ever. And everything's terrible now. Overload, status armor. That's okay, at least. Nice survivability, bit of movement speed. Ability, lose my most important stats. And these are terrible, man. Like, I guess we may as well take that since it's the same as that, plus some ability damage. My upgrades are so bad this run. On dodge, strike one enemy with lightning. On hit, chance to apply burn. These are so bad for me. I guess we have to go there. I guess I didn't really check the ship tags for that one skill upgrade. On ability, no. On damage, no. Ability cooldown, no. Oh my god. This is insane. Like, we have to reroll that, right? I guess I could take that. If we get any corrosion-based stuff, then that'll probably cancel out the damage at least. And if we get any frost, it'll have some okay utility. But those are just so bad for the current build. Hits apply corrosion, so that would work. Construct that fires a projectile, deals 15 damage. So that's basically for a full construct build, and I think we'll take that for some damage amplify on hits. Fire rate status. On status, applying frost increases your armor. Lost one hit, frostbite plus 30%. Fire rate and extra shot looks pretty good. That could be decent survivability. Doesn't really do a whole lot other than that, and we don't have super consistent status. So I think it probably is just that. ability on ability. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm fine with that. On hit, chance to strike with a lightning, chance to fire a projectile from the enemy. I think that's pretty good for how we build this time. Oh, there's a new first boss. He rolls at me menacingly. Let's dodge out of there. Uh-oh. Oh my god, that's so many bullets out of nowhere. On crit, chance to deal damage, apply corrosion. Yeah, I'm fine with that here. Status armor on damage, maximum health armor, constructs. I'm fine with those two. How much is the reroll? 75. It's kind of expensive when I don't land that much currently. So I guess the arena you get must be random, and then the boss is based on that. So if you know the game, you'll actually know which boss you're going to be facing, it seems like. On hit, restore health, sure. Are the missiles and all based on your base weapon damage? Because having something like the railgun might actually make those a lot better now that I think about it. So that's 25% of your damage dealt. And then that's just a flat amount of damage, so that's actually better with a fast-hitting weapon, regardless of your damage. Fire raids, that's decent. On kill, for enemies to drop an additional shard, so extra XP and econ. None of those are super important, so we can try that. Would have been better super early on though. these are pretty bad. I guess we can take the crit damage. Or a tiny amount of healing every 8 seconds. I don't think so. Status, movement speed, fire rate is fine. Fire, shoot out corrosive splinters, that would be pretty good. Construct that fires a projectile. Construct based. I don't think that does a ton for me, even though we do have one overload thing already. This seems like the most consistent, since we do have some corrosion as well, and that's just an on fire thing. Dark orbs have a chance to bounce. I don't... Oh wait, I did get 2 of those actually, didn't I? What rarity was it? Blue, I think? No, it must be... Was that the... Yeah, that was the last run I got dark orbs, I think. Damage accuracy... I guess we may as well. Let's just do a reroll, try and make the boss a bit easier. Overkill damage to nearby enemy, drop in additional shards. Like, I guess I'll take one of those. Whatever, we'll just get some help with the boss here. Not gonna get super greedy when I've been doing really bad so far. damage on hit, apply frost. That's useful. On hit, fire a light orb. Okay, so that would give us a little bit of healing, I guess. On ability, no. Critical hit chance is fine. Ability damage for losing status strength, no. Then I guess we may as well toss a reroll here. Another light orb. Fire projectile. Ability, no. Ability, no. On fire, chance of fire, 3 corrosive splinters, so that just improves the damage, I think. That's basically a net neutral on stats, although damage is a bit more useful than those. It's just not really making you that much stronger, I feel like. So I guess we may as well take the crit damage. I kind of need health and armor with how bad I am at the game currently. Oh, we got +1 core for the core tree, I think. So we can check that out after this run at least. Constructs, a little bit of crit chance, lose weapon stats. This seems like the only real choice here. Man, you would think for such a basic build like this I would have better upgrades, but they are just not really hitting for this run. Kill, fire a homing missile. Strikes 2 enemies with lightning. So it's probably between these two. I guess we'll go with the blue. On hit, fire projectile, dark orbs have a chance to bounce. On heal, chance to restore more health. We do have a few of those now, and that might actually help here. A few sources of healing, that is, with the light orbs and the chance on hit and stuff. Alright, that guy just wrecks me in melee, although he has insane bullet hell too. I can't move out of that, Jesus. He's so fast. This boss seems insane, my god. Bro, there's so many bullets right now. Please, stop. I don't know how I'm gonna beat that. That is insane. Like, I guess you need a lot of survivability for that. He's just so much faster. Like, I can't avoid his melee hits. And then there's so many bullets, you're gonna take some of those every once in a while, I feel like. On healer damage... Damage taken is stored. Storing 30 energy causes an explosion. Pretty cool. On dodge, reduce ability cooldown. Blizzard surround the ship with an icy field, lasts for 0 seconds, dealing damage every 0.33. Applying frost. Frostbolt on status, chance when applying frost, fire an ice spike, dealing damage based on the frost strength. Also applies frost. So that's a new ship. Or wait, those are just the basic cores actually, oops. First reroll in the shop, each level is free. So that's the after boss thing, I think. 5 free rerolls, option to alter 5 upgrades per run when leveling up. Rerolls the item but maintains its current rarity. Oh, that's pretty nice. Select 2 upgrades during a single level up. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Guarantees tagged upgrades will appear on your first level up and on every 7th level after. Sounds kinda cool. So Blizzard is the active, and then on any status you have a chance, or when applying frost actually. Ice spike dealing damage based on the frost strength. I guess we'll give him a shot. Fortunately, I don't think I have a frost-based weapon. Multi-projectile weapon, fires 5 short-range shots 2 times per second. I guess we'll try it. Frost shotgun builds. That actually lasts quite a while. I wonder if you could do an ability-based build and just have that permanently up. So we'll probably want that and that. On damage fire ice spikes, probably not. I don't think we need to ban any of these though. That's pretty nice, that's pretty nice. I forget how often that was. We'll probably take that and look for some good healing here. I can't see my skill tree currently, can I? And there's probably nothing in the stats about that. Heal another one. I think we probably will banish the ability-based stuff to try and make it easier to find healing and frost-based stuff. By burn, we can get rid of that. Ability, again banish that. Dodge, maybe. That seems decent. That seems decent. Probably take that. Do I want to dual pick that? I don't know which each of those is. That's the reroll, I think? The banish. I think that's the dual pick. I forget what that is. That might be free rerolls or something? Let's just grab that and then save the dual pick for something that I really want. Like, more sources of healing would be good, and any sort of generically good status, like the spreading status when they die, would probably be good as well. Kill, chance for an additional shard. We did get that early enough. That's not terrible. That's pretty bad though, since we want status strength here. Oh, those are the banishes. Construct, we can probably banish that as well. On hit, chance to restore health. Okay, that's very good. I guess we'll do a dual pick here. Wait, what is the altar? I hope this doesn't, like, change it then? Wait, how do I dual pick? What? Well, that ruined it. Oh, it was probably pressing it one time for dual pick and then holding it down to altar. Okay, that's my bad. Damage, no. These are not great. I guess we would have to take that. Actually, I guess prime enemies and bosses isn't that bad. Whatever. Purple with some extra damage. Spawn a construct, just regular damage, extra shards, lightning. Yeah, let's go the early extra shard and not mess it up this time. Another extra shard, missile deals damage and burn. That's actually not bad for a white. I didn't actually mean to click that though, oops. Status, apply frost when damaged. I mean, that's actually not bad if we keep scaling the healing up. Lasts 5 seconds as well, and gives a global buff to frostbite. I wouldn't mind having that either, but I think we'll try that. Ability stats, lose weapon stats. I mean, those are like my main damage here. Ooh, light orb for more healing, and then that'll trigger the frost on healing stuff. Wouldn't mind that for green, but yeah, that synergizes nicely with the healy frost stacking. Status applying frost. Okay, that would be very good here. For enemies to explode, dealing damage in a 2-meter radius. That doesn't sound that good, but I'm down to grab that as well, since it's a legendary. So that should have been the correct way to do that, I think. Yeah, you just press it one time. On hit, chance to restore health. Apply the status effect again. I want both of those. That's really good and probably helps more on bosses. Crit chance, I guess. Light orb is good. Movement, ability, cooldown, fire rate. We lose a lot of tank stats, which are pretty good here. I think we probably just take that for the extra healing and frost triggers. Frostbite plus 25%. Yeah, I guess we may as well. gonna be kind of hard for me to damage this guy since he just constantly does the short-range Nova, and we have to be close for the shotgun thing. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a great fit for my build. I can't really avoid that at that point. Frostbite, sure. On ability, fire one random orb, so 50-50 of being decent. I guess that's not terrible. Well, much higher uptime, but the damage on it doesn't really matter. That would slightly improve my healing with the orb strength. And then we would occasionally get one from that for some healing. Yeah, I guess so. Construct, status is okay, ability. I guess we could get another of those. And I guess we could get that and then probably reroll. Damage, fire projectile, damage dealt, not the greatest. Extra shot and health is okay. Ability cooldown kind of sucks though. These don't really seem great. Two of those really. These are even worse. I'll take some status-based stuff, and I guess one of those since we have some healing to go with it anyways. I guess it's not bad since we spawn the random orbs on ability. So we take damage, we use the ability more, and then we get occasional healing from it. Dark light orbs explode for damage. That's not bad. I should probably grab the healing on hit though with all the shotgun hits. Would like to have that, but we can't really do that for now, right? Do I have a lockdown? Oh, I can press T to lock it and then grab that. fine grabbing that now. So it looks like we'll get some light orb unlocked stuff this run at least. It's actually not terrible here. Apply corrosion, that's decent. Ooh, frost spreading, yep. Damage, apply frost, corrosion, regular projectile. I kind of want that. Just to really maximize the frost and survivability. I did not see the wave at the bottom. Shock. Dark Orb. I guess it's not terrible since we have the purple thing to go with that. Those are all decent as well. Maybe we can get some Dark Orb unlocks on this run as well, since we already have the explosion effects for that. Damage, apply frost, 3 ice spikes, kind of the same thing. Might be good to get that for some extra healing, and then that will trigger the on-heal effect thing a bit more, as well as increasing my survivability. Those are okay, but they're a lot more situational, I think. construct to regular damage. We lose a lot of survivability, although those aren't bad. Could just grab that for the frost synergy. I think so. Just doesn't really feel good to lose that much survivability when we have a lot of healing to go with it. It's not bad, but this has no downside. It makes our frost a bit better. That's so many bullets, my god, dudes. Does that really seem necessary? I mean, I took that many hits and I'm almost full HP, so the healing thing kind of works. Chance to cause burn. Ooh, on heal, heal more. That's really good. Corrosion, strength, duration, max corrosion. I don't think I have any sources of that yet. So it's not terrible, but it does nothing currently. I think I'm just gonna reroll all of these. Crit chance is fine. I guess we could. That's okay. Extra orb on ability, that's okay. More abilities to trigger it more. Another of those, not great. Accuracy Pierce is okay. Don't really think these are very good. Can't get that now anyways. How much armor do I have with that one thing maxed out? 60%, so 37% reduction. But we lose some of that after being hit. But we also trigger a bunch of frost when we get hit as well. Max health, definitely not. I guess probably just that for extra orbs whenever we use the ability. kind of want to take some small hits to get my ability back faster here so we get better AoE damage. It'll probably heal me back up anyways. Explosion on damage. Ooh, extra healing. Let's see, the square guys are 15, those are 19. How much are the speedy guys? 20. So the little red squares are the best to hit, it looks like. Oh, I guess there's some variance on that depending on how many stacks of the armor I had. So that's not super correct. The bullets actually seem like one of the better ones. Huh, I guess the ability doesn't actually heal me much at all. Even though we have like 4 or 5 random orbs on it now with a bunch of orb modifiers. So it's mostly just my on-hit stuff. It's kind of nice that taking the bullets is actually kind of beneficial to this build though. One less thing we have to worry about. Extra shot chance, that's not bad. That's pretty good. I don't think we have any of those left. I forget what those are. Are those... No, those are banishes, right? Well, we'll definitely take the legendary extra shot here. Does that double them or just add 1 bullet? It doesn't look like it doubles them. So that's actually not very good on the shotgun then. Oh well. Oh god, his bullets do pretty high damage. Please, that's so many dudes. $27 when I dashed out of it, really? The damage on this fight doesn't make any sense, man. I dashed out of that and it did 25 damage still. I don't understand this fight. Create a healing wall beneath the player. Oh, that would have been interesting. Freezing an enemy deals damage. Chance for enemies to drop a shard that restores health. If at max health, increase max health. Okay, that's pretty nice. On damage, fire 1 light orb. That would have been really good. Triangle arena is a random alternate. 2 enemies affected by only a single status effect. Firing a dark light orb increases orb strength up to 10 stacks. Max health, ability damage duration, cooldown rate. Man, all of these would have been really good. These would have been really good, but I kind of had to lose a run to unlock them, it seems like. We might be able to do a full ability build now with that. Yeah, pretty good, pretty cool game. Lots of build customization. I'm kind of struggling right now and feel like I'm kind of bad at it, but that'll improve in time. 10% chance to instantly cool down your ability. Your next ability gains 15% strength when it triggers. Guarantees at least one upgrade will be glitched. 2 stacks, that sounds pretty good. Status strength and duration. Seems pretty good. 25% health when starting a level. Ooh, that's decent stats. 10% movement speed. Health and armor. Oh, you have to go through that. Drop a fragment when killed. What are fragments? Rarity of the item received. Oh, unwanted upgrades for fragments. When using the recycler and fabricator. Oh, first item in the shop is free. That's kind of nice. That sounds pretty nice, so we can specialize the build a bit more. Ban all upgrades matching a single tag before the run starts. That sounds really good as well for that. Yeah, I'm gonna need a bit of practice to get good at this one, it seems like. That third boss is insane. That is so many bullets. And you sometimes take damage from them even when you dash from them. And his melee attack is just so fast. I don't know how you avoid that. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.